Alright, let's go over multiplying a matrix by a matrix. So first thing that I want to point out is that not all matrices can be multiplied together. So let's look at this one. This has 2 rows and 3 columns, so this is a 2 by 3 matrix. This has 3 rows and 2 columns, so that makes this a 3 by 2 matrix. These two can be multiplied together. So the thing to look at is to see if these numbers are the same. So this has 3 columns and this has 3 rows, so they can be multiplied. And the resultant is going to be whatever's left over. It's going to be a 2 by 2 matrix. So let's put what this is going to equal here. Okay, now the way we multiply matrices is a little complicated, but you'll be able to do this. So there are going to be 4 spots here. So this is going to be first row, first column, first row, second column. This spot is the second row, first column, and this is the second row and second column. To get what goes in this location, we're going to multiply the first row by the first column. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, we're going to multiply corresponding parts together. So this is the first element in the first row. This is the first element in the first column, so we multiply those together. So we're going to end up with 2 times 5. Then we're going to do the second row, the second element in the first row, times the second element in the first column. So 6 times 4. And then the last element here times the last element here, 1 times 6. And we add these together. Alright, so now likewise, to get this element here, which is in the first row and the second column, we're going to multiply the first row by the second column this time. So first row, second column, multiply the corresponding parts. So this 2 goes with this 2 because they're both the first element. So 2 times 2. Then we're going to add the second element times the second element, so 6 times 1. Okay, we need some more space. And then the last element times this last element, 1 times 7. So plus 1 times 7. Alright, now this spot, second row, first column. So we're going to multiply this second row and this first column. So the first element times the first element, 5 times 5. And the second element times the second element, 4 times 4. Then we're going to add the last element, the third element, by this third element, 7 times 6. Now do the same for this. So this is the second row, second column element. So we're going to multiply the second row of this by the second column of this one. So we're going to have first element, 5 times 2, plus 4 times 1, plus 7 times 7. Even more space. Now we just have to do some arithmetic. So this is going to be, well, we could do this in the calculator also. So let's get the calculator. I'm just going to type in this first part. So it's 2 times 5 plus 6 times 4 plus 1 times 6. And we get 40. Alright, now for this element, 5 times 5 plus 4 times 4 plus 7 times 6. So this is going to be 83. Then we got this element to do, so 2 times 2 plus 6 times 1 plus 1 times 7, 17. And this last one, 5 times 2 plus 4 times 1 plus 7 times 7, 63. So this 2 by 3 matrix multiplied by this 3 by 2 matrix gives us this 2 by 2 matrix. Alright, let's do this. Look at this example. Here we have a 2 by 1 matrix. We have 2 rows and 1 column. And this is a 2 by 2 matrix. So let's look at these numbers, see if they match up. That's a 1, that's a 2. So this one has no solution. We can't multiply these together. Now let's look at this one. We have 3 rows and 1 column, so this is a 3 by 1. This is 1 row and 2 columns, so it's 1 by 2. You see that these match up. So we're going to end up with a 3 by 2 matrix. So let's do our work here. So it's going to be 3 rows and 2 columns, so just make some lines here. I'm just going to do this so you can see how things match up. You don't have to actually write these lines. So this spot here is going to be, because it's the first row and the first column, we're going to multiply this first row by this first column. And you see that we only have a single digit in both places. So it's just going to be 3 times 2. This one is the second row and the first column, so we'll multiply this second row, the 6, by this first column, 2. Okay, now for this one we have, this spot is the third row, first column, so third row, first column, 4 times 2. Right now over here, this is the first row, but it's the second column, so we're going to do first row, 3, second column, 1, so 3 times 1. Then this spot is the second row and the second column, so second row, second column, 6 times 1. And lastly, we have the third row, second column, 4 times 1. So we're going to end up with 6, 3 times 2 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 4 times 2 is 8, 3 times 1 is 3, 6 times 1 is 6, and 4 times 1 is 4. So multiplying this 3 by 1 matrix by this 1 by 2 matrix resulted in this 3 by 2 matrix.